Hello. Hi. Wait, Herbie's live right now? Oh shit. Herbie, come chat. Come chat, Herbie. Oh goodness. Black Femininity TV. Oh girl. I was watching your interview with Aaliyah's interlude. Halfway through that. Anyway. Um you could have stopped at your obsession with celebs. I just wanted to say well done on your poll performance. Thank you very much, Vamp. Thank you. Thank you. I always forget that the camera's here and I'm like looking down there. Maybe I'll use my TV as a monitor. That would actually be helpful. 1 second while people are filing in. Ooh. While people are filing in.
Single. Tablet. Every 20.
Oh, tell Herbie I say hey, boo. And yeah, if they want to join, let me know.
And vitamins.
My TV is always on supermarket sweeps. It used to always be on forensic files, and I was like, I need peace. This is horrific. I was actually watching an In Denial video. If you don't know who In Denial is, check out his channel. He was doing a video called The Psychology of Israeli Propaganda, and his stuff is always so good and has that perfect, to me, blend of like seriousness and like insight, but also humor and levity. But yeah, drag therapist, In Denial. Yes, I am looking at my neighbors. Any single time I have anything that's me on screen, I'm like, I hope my neighbors aren't like, hope my neighbors aren't seeing this. 'Cause that's embarrassing. What? How do I'm trying to use my TV as a monitor, so I stopped looking down there. Sorry, y'all. That's what's happening. Aha! Okay. Why? I don't know how to simultaneously go live, and I'm not sure what Herbie's talking about. What's Herbie talking about? Me forgetting that I'm going to have to read the comments from here. Oh no, I can read them on the screen. Oh, amen. Okay, I can look up and pay attention now. Okay. So, I love to do a little live stream. I love to pop on here when I've made a video and I stop and go, I don't think people understood the point. I think a lot of people did and a lot of people didn't. So I'm here to further clarify because I don't have to, but I'm bored and I've been sick in the house for the last 2 weeks. So, got to do something, right? Anyway. So, yeah. Add Herbie if you can. He texted you. He texted me. Herbie texted. Wait, what? I'm not on Instagram right now. Did Herbie text me? Ah, goodness. Okay, tell Herbie I'll let Herbie do his thing for a little bit. I just want to talk about something real quick and then Herbie and because I think Herbie will have some good insights to add. And I love going live with Herbie. That's my play cousin. We always joke around about that. So, but yeah, I wanted to get on here because I think I was concerned that 2 things were happening. One, that I was perhaps unclear in my most recent video. The title, the critiquing, all of that. I was unclear, I think, is one of the main things because, communication is a 2-way street. And I used to always take the burden of like being unclear onto myself. So I'm used to doing that. But I am doing it because I actually do think I might have been unclear because I know I don't work with scripts. So sometimes if you're on the same wavelength, you're like, yes. But if you're not, or you're always looking for a critique or something or whatever, what I say doesn't always translate. And so I think the other part of it is that, yes, I was maybe unclear in what the video was meant to be about, but also some of y'all weren't ready to hear it. Let that sit in the air. Let that marinate. Because on the part of me being unclear, I thought that I was going to make that video. No, I didn't think. I knew I wanted to make that video about people being obsessed with wanting to hear Beyonce and other celebrities like her talk about these political issues, particularly foreign policy. I knew that that was the point of the video. But I think a lot of people were confused because I said we need to talk about Beyonce. So I changed the title to make it more obvious. It's a lot more disrespectful because you know what? Sometimes I'm petty. And I have said that on this channel before. Anybody that tries to give me some holier than thou, could you just so positive and so light and always happy and blah, blah, blah. That's not always me. I try to be positive and have good energy and be, decent person, and I care about people. Fuck yeah. But also I have an attitude. It doesn't come out all the time, and it comes out when people try me, but like for the most part, yeah. I'm the kind of person that people don't often say, "Oh, I saw Khadijah mad." But when they do, they're like, "Oh, I saw Khadijah mad." So sometimes I can be very, very petty is what that is meant to say. But one thing that I think I can say clearly is that I'm always trying to be honest. And I think a lot of us are so used to being sold packages and certain things that we don't recognize honesty as honesty. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, that's a side tangent. Either way, if you missed it, I was talking about Beyonce in a video, but I was mostly talking to the audience because people are very, to me, seemingly obsessed with hearing Beyonce, Taylor Swift, any of these celebrities that they look up to use their very large platforms that they do have and could be using. Because I think I give y'all a lot more the benefit of the doubt than some of y'all give me, because I take it on the chin that y'all assume that I am aware that Beyonce should be using her platform and isn't. Like, I kind of just take it as like, if you're familiar with my content, that's a given. But yeah, people are, it's strange to me. And I said strange to me, not y'all are weird, which is what I was originally going to say when I was speaking from place of ego and my Scorpio moon was talking. And then I was like, Khadijah, that's adding judgment and characterization to other people's actions. Just say it's strange to you, because that's less, pointing at people, right? Because pointing at people is not the way to get them to listen to you. That just makes them be more defensive. So, which is a good segue into, y'all want these celebrities to speak up and say stuff, right? They have large platforms that we technically as a public have given them by caring enough about them to have media institutions and brands and all this other stuff think that they have enough of an audience to be marketable and blah, blah, blah. The cycle continues. So we as audience have certain expectations of them, right? Only if you're open to it. Maybe not today. I love this topic. And oh, Herbie. No. Yes, I'm open to it. I just wanted to get this off my spirit real quick so that I'm not interrupting you a bunch, because I'd be cutting up a lot. But if you are into it, do you know how to go live together? I don't actually know how to do that. Do we have to do a Zoom? I think we do a Zoom and then I share it on my OBS. So yes, let's maybe do that if you're still down to. But I just need to get this rant out of my spirit first. Okay, continuing. I can't remember what I was saying. Sorry, y'all. I lost my train of thought. Somebody help me. Oh my God, Philosophy Noir. Hi. Hi. Okay. Does anybody remember what I was just saying before all of that? Something about celebrities. We're obsessed with. Yes, we as public give them power, right? So we have certain expectations of them. But I think it is really unserious. I'm starting to talk like immigrant uncles now. It is unserious to me to have expectations of somebody that does not know you exist. That is strange. Think about that. The reason that I go silent when I say shit like that is because I want it to marinate. Having an expectation for somebody who does not know you exist. If that's not a recipe for heartbreak, disappointment, and disaster, I don't know what is. I mean, there are plenty of other things, but you keep thinking your phone died. Sorry, Norma. I am not dumb. I mean, I'm smart, but I'm real dumb, but I'm not stupid, right? I know that celebrities can be doing so much with their platform because I have a platform that is not even as large as a lot of theirs. And I be doing shit and talking and trying to educate. And I don't even think of myself as an activist or organizer. So it is fair that a lot of people that look up to somebody would say, hey, I support this person. I give them money. I go to their shows. I blah, blah, blah. Why aren't they doing the thing that I also care about? Did you stop to think that it's because you never actually knew them in the first place, so you didn't actually ever know what they cared about? You didn't. And you never will unless you meet them and know them as people. You can have your speculations all day long. But at the end of the day, what they are giving you is being sold to you. And how I know this is because I always tell this story. When I was looking for managers or agents or whatever, people to represent me for the performing part of who I am as a person, I remember at the end of a meeting, this agent looked me dead in the face and was like, do you want to be famous? And I was like, confronted. Like I really had to sit and go, Khadija, do you want to be famous or do you actually want to do the art and stuff that you like? And I stopped and went, okay, I've thought about this a lot, and I know pragmatically, just in a realist way, that fame, some element of fame comes with the territory in this day and age of wanting to do certain things. Unless I had started with a mask on, Daft Punk or the Gorillas or something, like where I was in animation and no one ever really saw me. I didn't think that far ahead, and I don't really actually care if people know who I am, so whatever. But I kind of take being known as part of whatever kind of career you might have if you're going to be somebody that likes performing arts, right? And so I'm not after my career in the performing arts because I want to be famous, but I pragmatically know that if I reach a certain level of notoriety in that, there would be fame with that. And that was kind of how I answered, which felt like a cop-out. And ever since, I remember stopping and going, Khadija, do you want to be famous? Is that Even when I started having meetings with other people, possibly getting a publicist, right? Because the only way you can really get your name out there is by having a publicist, or going viral, or by having people that are helping you craft your image and who you are. And so they meet with you and you have conversations and you tell them stories about yourself, and they create a version of you that is a version of you. It's not completely false unless you're into that, but a version of you that they can sell to people. When I was 19 or 20, I auditioned for the X Factor when it first came to the US. What they do is they make you audition in a gymnasium with a whole bunch of other people. You sing for like 3 rounds in front of all these other producers, and then they ask you questions. And what I didn't realize when she was asking me questions was I didn't know what my brand was. I walked in like a floral dress, looking kind of alt black girl punky, but I sang jazz and stuff. And I did a jazz rendition of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because I thought it would make me stand out. And so I got past the first round. And then the second round, you could tell that the girl was like, okay, yeah, you can sing, whatever. But like, what's your deal? Who are you? She was like, so do you just sing jazz? And I was like, no, I sing jazz. I sing classical music or whatever. Like, I was just listing all of my talents. But they don't care about all of your talents. They care about the one thing they can market you as, to sell you as. So I say all of this to say, you are only getting one version of a famous person because you do not know that person, unless you are actually friends with that person and can speak to who they are as who their character is. People care more about an image of a thing than the thing itself. That Adrienne Rich poem, Diving into the Wreck, the thing I came for, the wreck and not the story of the wreck. To me, that's how I define truth, seeing things from as many angles as possible, knowing that I'll never get 100% objective truth, because that's impossible with human beings, but that I can see, if I can see something from as many perspectives as possible, then I can get a better picture and understanding of what it is that I'm observing. So, that being said, I can't see all the parts of Beyonce or Taylor Swift or Selena Gomez or any of these other celebrities. I have seen parts of someone like Zendaya because she's actually messaged me a few times. And the vibes that I got from her were accurate. She's nice, seems cool. Just seems like somebody that's on the internet and is just like, what's up? I don't know. Like, I got good vibes, and any interaction I've ever had with her has been good vibes. Anytime I've asked for a bit of advice on a little something, or like, hey, what do you think of this? Knowing that, like, you have no business to talk to me because we don't know each other from Adam. She has been nice. And somehow found my Instagram before I even had like 20,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know how she did it. Zendaya's on the internet peeking, but I don't know how she did it. I was like, what? Who brought you here? But I still don't know her. I know the vibes that I've gotten from her, from the minimal interactions we've had, but that's it. So my managing of my expectations are within the bounds of how I have known her, right? That's that little bit. Beyonce, the closest I've gotten to Beyonce was going to the Renaissance. When I say I don't know nothing about her, I don't know nothing. And she is somebody, and it's weird to say that because she's somebody that has been a part of my life since I was a kid. My eldest sister used to listen to Destiny's Child and Aaliyah and all those other groups. And so I just observed that, and they became my favorite group just because they were always around and because I like their music. So Herbie, give me like 5 more minutes. We'll do it at 8:20. We'll set it up. I'll chat more and then we'll take a little break and then we can come back. But yeah, it is strange to say that Beyonce has been a huge part of my life, but I have not been an ounce of a thought of hers because she don't know I exist, y'all. So how can I have expectations of somebody who does not even know of my existence? Yes, EP, my kidneys are feeling better now that I have the right medication. The Quebec healthcare system is treacherous. Thanks, Herbie. Yes, 5 minutes. I just am saying all of this because there were so many comments from people that are being like, well, Beyonce could be doing something. She could have not shown her film in Israel. She could have said blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking that that's a given, that y'all know that I'm assuming she could have done a lot more than she has been. What I'm saying is not that. What I'm saying is she's not doing the things and she's not saying the things. So now what are you going to do about it? Pay more attention to her and what she's not doing than Bisan? What? I know that any single time I say things like this and the audience gets really upset, I've made a point because I think when I've made videos that are really trying to hold a mirror up to some of y'all, a lot of y'all like to smash it before you even stop to look. This is the same thing with talking about digitally divesting. I would have hoped that it was a given that y'all know that I'm not yelling at people who literally cannot leave their homes. I would hope that of all the things that you've learned on this channel, the vibe. But then I have to remember, I don't know a lot of y'all and y'all don't know me. So actually, fair play. If I'm going to talk about all that, fair. I would hope is all I can say. That because of the way that I try to be honest on my platform, what I tell y'all, I really do show y'all what I'm doing in the process. When it looks good, when it looks bad, I show up as honestly as I can in the moments to y'all. And so that's why I hope that you understand that if I say something like we should digitally divest because Mark Zuckerberg and his homies could give a fuck about genocide happening on devices that child hands mined from another genocide, they could give a fuck about any of that and actually are just happy that we're all engaging online more and more, no matter how much visibility we're giving something. And visibility is important. I would hope that you would remember that I believe visibility and all of that is how you learn, but that should just be an entry point. Because these tech billionaires became billionaires off of us. And now people are starting to see the shadow banning happening even more with especially Palestinian activists, journalists, anyone online. But instead of thinking, how do we all collectively organize to rid these people of the power they think they have over us, we're addicted to the devices. But instead of hearing that, people heard, you're being ableist. Instead of hearing that, people heard, well, that was the main thing. And then instead of being this, people heard, you're speaking over Palestinian voices. Palestinians are telling us to amplify. Amplifying, yes, is important. But I don't know a single person in my life that doesn't know what's going on now. I heard excuses like, Twitter's where we get all of our news. That is concerning to me. Not because I know people are following journalists on Twitter, yes. But I just, that's the other part. I'm like, sorry, I start stuttering when I get, but all of these things, people heard those stuff. And I really need some of y'all to decenter yourselves. And just when somebody's saying something, take it at face value. Or as best, maybe I get that it's hard to trust people because people online be talking shit. Maybe I'm just asking for myself. Take me at face value. If I say something, I'm not talking with some hidden agendas. I'm not talking with some secret manipulative. Let me see if I can. I'm way too all over the place for that. I don't work with scripts, y'all. I don't have pre-planned anything. I told y'all, I'm basically Heath Ledger's the Joker going, do I look like a guy with a plan? Do I just be having ideas that I throw out and I'm like, what if this worked? And yes, I just hope that after all of these years online, I have earned trust from some of y'all. That's my hope. Knowing that we don't know each other. So I get it. I get it. It's hard to trust me because you don't know me. That's fair. I need to be more honest about that. That's fair. But I just think, no, I used to write scripts early on and then I was like, I don't want to do this. I just want to talk and be myself. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm skeptical about anything a billionaire hands me and says this was going to be good for me. You know what I'm saying? And so I believe platforms can do good in terms of raising awareness. I talk about the Arab Spring before. I have talked in my Slacktivism video. I've talked about these things because it is important. And I've never been someone that's throw the baby out with the bathwater. No. Oh my God, what are these alarms? But I also know that if these tech billionaires and stuff don't even want their own kids on these apps or these devices for too long, what should that say? The people they actually care about in their lives. I'm just like, we saw so much more direct action back in the day, is my speculation, because people had no choice. They didn't have the choice of being online to do that. They had to go out. Even learning, and I have told y'all, I am in the early infancy days of learning about disability rights and activism, because I have told y'all that it's a gap in my knowledge and something that I want to work on. I remember watching a Drunk History episode that I cried in so much about disability activists in the 70s staging sit-ins to fight. Okay, wait. Somebody needs to come citation me because I think I'm mixing this up. What is the actual cheddar cheese? I know. What is the what's it called? What is that? What was that sit-in or protest called? It was like a number or something. It's government sit-in where disabled people went to government offices. And I'm not saying this to shame people that are visibly disabled or not even visibly disabled. See, I told you, infancy of the stage, because I'm talking all incorrect. So it's fine for y'all to correct me. But yeah, like it was 1973, was it? I know I can go into, you know what? We got Google. Let's just do this. Okay, Herbie, also, do you have the Zoom if Herbie's still here? 504 sit-in. That's what it was. I knew it was a number. Thank you, Hannah. I knew it was a number. I was like, what's going on? Okay, this was one of my favorite episodes of Drunk History. I cried like a baby during it because I was like, look what happens when we just stand up for ourselves and each other and just like say that we're not gonna take it. I was a mess. Drunk History had me crying. Anyway. But it's the 504 sit-in. This is off of Wikipedia, so grain of salt, I know, blah, blah, blah. The 504 sit-in was a disability rights protest that began on April 5th, 1977. People with disabilities and the disability community occupied federal buildings in the United States in order to push the ensuance of long-delayed regulations regarding Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Prior to the 1990 enactment of the American with Disabilities Act, the Rehabilitation Act was the most important disability rights legislation in the U.S. So they staged this sit-in because they're like, y'all are taking too long. We get it. You don't give a fuck about disabled people, but we care. 100, thank you. It was 100 days. And they didn't do it by themselves. When you're going to do something like that, it's organized. You have people bringing in food. You have people bringing in blankets. You have people that are on the outside rotating because not everyone can take a whole 100 days off of work or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, That was in the 70s because they didn't have Twitter and Instagram. And so I bring that story up because I always think like there's always going to be a reason why we can't do something. And we are all very comfortable with the luxuries that we have. But real risks like this mean giving up some of our comforts. And if you're not willing to do that, then don't be so, I don't know, judgmental to everybody else about how they're going to be activists and show up if you're not willing to actually do that. Because organizers that I follow don't walk around shaming people. They actively talk about that's not the best thing to do because they know that that's not how you get people to show up and show out. But yeah. Whew. Anyway, let me find Herbie. Let's figure this out. Herbie. I think if I send you a Zoom link, it should work. So let me just make a new Zoom. Copy the invitation. Okay. I gotta go into... Ugh. Hold on, y'all. Okay. I just sent Herbie the Zoom invitation. So once that's there, I'm going to, we're going to do this together because I've talked enough. You've heard me enough. Here's somebody else. Herbie, I sent it to you on Instagram. Oh, you so fat. Oh, popped in and popped out. Popped right in and popped right back out. Hold on, y'all. We're going to... Hold on, y'all. Talk amongst yourselves. Hold on. I cannot hear you. Give me 1 second.
I hope the people can see and hear me.
We're just doing Zoom.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay. I can't hear Herbie. Just give me 1 moment. Just give me 1 moment.
Oh, I see me in the live. Oh my God. I need to find an angle that works. Oh, this is a little too much.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Herbie left again. Okay. Oh, no, Herbie's back. Y'all, bear with us. Hi.
I'm the problem.
It's me. Okay.
See, I can hear you on my computer. No,
Not
I'm
us turning into
back.
Swifties. Okay, I fixed it. I fixed my Zoom audio. Oh, y'all. Amen. Thank you for bearing with us, y'all. Okay, bye.
Girl. Okay, I can't hear you on my phone, but I can hear you on my computer. And see,
Okay.
that's the problem. We had this problem before when we tried to go
We
live.
did. We did. But look at how fabulous technology is because
Hold
look at
on,
us.
hold on,
Look at
hold
how
on, hold
fast
on,
that
hold
was.
on. Let me try this. Let me try going into the live on my computer because I can only hear you on my computer, but I'm watching the live on my computer. Like,
That's so
I can't hear
weird.
you. Huh?
Okay, no, do your thing. Do your thing.
No, I can't hear you here. But I'm because this is live. Hello, people. I know y'all can hear me because I could hear me when I joined in. Oh my God. This is just a medium ghetto production. I'm so sorry.
I like that we're kind of
Okay.
unintentionally pretty
2 seconds,
pink,
because we got things to get
baby
into.
blue. Why
Okay.
don't you teach me
This camera is so close to
something
me as I figure the
new?
things out.
We're
Okay.
all just babies in my view.
Oh, that's not
So
your
crawl, baby. Crawl, baby. Ooh,
I
ooh,
changed
ooh.
I was logging into my Instagram, but I forgot that I changed my password after I broke up with my very toxic ex.
Ooh.
And now it's very aligned with that toxic breakup. I'll
Ooh.
Oh my God, wait, no, the password's still incorrect. Hold on, 2 seconds. This is embarrassing.
Herbie and Khadijah
Oh,
versus technology
girl, the
round
email,
2.
girl.
Okay, listen, Athelius. Now I usually not
Okay.
CJ. Hey CJ.
Oh my God.
How you been, homie?
I can't win for losing. Let me do this. Will it allow me? Oh, it will allow me to do that.
Oh
I love
goodness.
this for me. I don't know how I look in the camera right now, but just bear with us,
Excuse
everybody.
me. Y'all also bear with me. I'm still recovering,
Okay.
so there's gonna be lots of coughing.
Yes. Unlock.
Ugh.
Enter passcode. Yeah. What is? I literally forgot my Instagram password. I never log out of Instagram. This is embarrassing.
Listen, it's all good. It's all good.
I almost want to turn you on my computer, but I know that's going to disrupt everyone else's sound. Okay. Here it is.
Yes,
That's the
babes.
password.
Wu-Tang cream. Yes, babes. I was
That was
so
so close.
sick. Oh my god. I had a kidney infection.
Okay.
You know, second time in my life I've had them. It's sorry, the accent's going away.
Okay,
Every time I
babe.
try to do some sort of like ghetto British accent, it doesn't really work. It has to be posh, unfortunately. But yes, I
Let's
had
do
a
this.
kidney
Okay, I'm
infection,
in.
and then I had a cold and flu.
And now
and it was absolutely
I just
terrible.
need to click the link.
Herbie and I are
We're
talking
getting
about
closer,
2 different
people.
things. Because the doctors here, legally, they don't got to speak French anymore. They don't got to speak English anymore.
Yes.
Yo, kidney infection, it's no joke. It's terrible.
Perfect.
That's why I've been lounging on the couch a lot,
Girl, all
y'all.
these security settings, like, damn, am I trying to get into my Instagram or the Pentagon?
You should be grateful, actually. I have 2-step authentication on everything.
Okay.
And yeah, definite Quebecois moment.
I feel
because
like
the
a
doctors
Disney
here are
Channel. I don't know if
playing
you're
in your
talking,
face.
so I hate to cut you off.
Wait, what?
But I feel like a Disney Channel movie when they're like, I just have to hack to the mainframe. The
The colors are giving. The colors are giving Disney Channel.
Okay. Open Zoom, and then I'm gonna leave here because I'm gonna open it up here. I'll be right back, y'all.
Jadija is crazy. Herbie and I were literally having 2 different conversations. June of last year, public services don't have to be in English. It's only in French. And so, yeah, the first hospital I went to, you can still see the review I left on there. I was mad, y'all, because I was trying to tell them that I was pretty sure it was a kidney infection, but I was presenting with cold flu symptoms, and these people just didn't have a translator. Oh, it was bad. So yeah. I can't hear you.
Okay.
You said 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay. Okay. I heard
Can I
that.
be seen? Yes, you can hear me.
I can hear myself though.
Okay, let me do this. And I'm gonna ask if you can hear me now. Hold on.
So
I gotta
you. Okay. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay. Okay. I heard that.
Yes, you can hear me.
I can hear myself though.
Okay, you can hear me now. This. And I'm gonna ask if you can hear me now. Oh shit.
Yeah, you have it playing.
I have a problem with me.
Y'all, I'm so keep grabbing your snacks. We're almost ready.
Okay, everything is good now. I promise.
Okay, I can't hear myself. That's perfect.
You.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Now let me bring my light up because you know, girl, I'm a girl of a particular skin tone.
Yes. It's always about getting the perfect lighting because people on YouTube will drag you like the technology isn't racist. That's the funny part.
Like, girl.
Like,
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry.
And I also have this very cotton candy wig on that's taking majority of the lighting, girl.
Yes.
She's winning.
Listen, when the hold up. I just want to make sure I have my charger. Y'all, I promise this is the last thing.
See, I'm just happy it's not me, child. Okay. Hi, guys. Oh, my God. After being ghetto, now, see, I'm still doing ghetto shit. After being ghetto for 45 minutes, I'm finally doing the right thing. All right, let me plug my mic in so that y'all can hear me better. Okay? Let me know if does this improve? Did this improve my phone quality or my sound quality? Yes.
Yes.
I'm finna roll up again. It's fine. I'll wait. I'm gagging. Okay. Boomer tech energy is crazy.
Y'all, we're here. We've done it. We've done it.
Yes, y'all can hear me better.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Wait, Khadij.
Yo. Herbie, don't do
it. Are you
Herbie, don't do it. Are you kidding me? You can't hear me?
Can y'all hear Khadij or is it just me?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Can y'all hear Khadij or is it just me?
I got my mic in.
We need an intro song.
Herbie, can somebody
Okay, wait a minute.
Ask Herbie if maybe
Khadijah,
the mic...
if the people can hear you and it's just me, it's me when I change to this mic.
Yes, I was gonna say your test speaker is probably your microphone. You need headphones.
Okay, so talk again.
Your test speaker is in your microphone. You need your test speaker to be in a separate headphone.
You taught me this before.
I did.
Such a patient teacher because I am not the brightest bulb. My test speaker is in my microphone. Test speaker, same as built-in? No. We're going to do...
So the test speaker will be what you hear, where you hear from. So you need headphones. That way it's not echoing between us.
Headphones?
Yes.
I have headphones. Now, we're going to talk about Beyonce. Who said it was going to roll up? Roll me something up, too, girl. I need it after this shit.
Yeah, y'all need... Whoever, roll up what you got. Smoke them if you got them. Because it's the millennial fucking...
No, it's very much giving... Wait,
Herbie, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Leave me alone. You are like 7 years younger than me. Anyway...
I am 25, young hot ebony.
Okay, 98?
I'm 98. I hate that I'm 98 because I really want to give... Now, what's the audio quality without the microphone? First of all, let's say that.
I mean, I think it's good.
You think it's good?
Yeah.
You guys think the audio quality is good without the microphone? Because honestly, I won't go through this. I lost my headphones in the club. It's good. Y'all saying it's good? It's good.
Oh my God. Everybody on mute.
Girl, this is ridiculous.
This is wild.
I'm going to finish my glass because no, keep the mic. Listen,
don't do it. Don't do it.
I fought hard enough.
No.
I'm going to ditch the mic and y'all can get it to my full moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Why did you have headphones on in the club, girl? Medina
Girl,
said, why did you have headphones in the club?
girl, they be playing oomps oomps. I was, hold up, wait. I think it just, and then I take it out and it's like, it was a club. And so I live in the New York City, New Jersey area. So sometimes the club can give um a specific kind of music that I'm not really here for. And I have eclectic music taste. I think I'm into a wide array of things, but when it's just for 3 hours straight.
Oh no, I'd have to be on so many drugs for that. So
No, yeah, it's a
I
job. And
typically, if I don't have good shrooms or good acid, I'm not going to that because
I'm
let me just
scared about that. My ex used to do shrooms and things, and I'm like, "Ugh, this looks so girl, I can't even smoke weed. I have a baby heart attack. Yeah,
that's fair.
girl.
See, everybody's different. Some people, it's like weed is like the best thing. And for others, it's like, oh my God, no, it makes me anxious. It doesn't make me anxious. It actually calms me the fuck down.
I love people like that. I started smoking when I was 16.
That,
Um,
see, that's the other thing. Everybody's been smoking since, sorry, go ahead. I keep interrupting you.
no, no, no. This is dialogue. Cut me the fuck off. You know, I appreciate it. But I did start smoking at 16 and it was euphoric, fun. I used to go to Dairy Queen, turn my shit, my milkshakes upside down and be like, oh my God. And then on my 18th birthday, I smoked an extendo, which is like a really long blunt for the people who don't know. And it's like probably the equivalent of two full size joints, blunts. Maybe if you're talking a joint, it's probably like three joints, but like a blunt is a little bit longer. So it's very long. And I faced the whole thing. When I tell you I had the worst trip, my face looked green. My face is never, girl, you see my complexion. My face has never looked green. And then I think from that bad trip, thereafter, when I went to college, it was just before, like, I went to college that year. I was like, every time I smoke, I'm anxious about being anxious.
Yeah.
And that's where it's a chop for me because I already have anxiety. And so it used to be such a euphoric, like escapist feeling. Now I just pour a glass of Merlot, grab some lingerie. Like one thing about me, girl, I will put on lingerie in the room, just me, just nobody, no man, girl, just me, no thoughts, just vibes.
Oh my God. Okay. See, because I didn't start smoking weed until 3 years ago, actually. Like I had smoked before, but not consistently. Like I think I smoked the first time when I was 18. I was a pretty straight edge kid. Like I maybe drank once in a while, but I didn't start like drinking till I was 23 and like working in restaurants. Like my friends joke around about how like I'd go out with them and I'd order a Sprite, or when we were at clubs, I'd order a Red Bull. Cause so I've come into drugs and stuff very late, quote unquote, late in life. Because one thing about me, I'm not going to rush myself for stuff like that. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. So I just take my time. And now I smoke weed and everybody's like, no, I've been smoking since I was a teen. I had to stop. I'm like, damn.
No, yeah, I've been smoking since I was 11. Girl, we can tell. No, I didn't start drinking until I got to college. I drank once the summer before college, and I was like, this tastes like rubbing alcohol. Why do people do this?
Oh, it was terrible. But that's the other thing. Somebody was like, what they say, restaurant jobs turn you into an alcoholic. They do. They do. I don't drink that much anymore because I'm like, like I'm very social now. Like if I'm out with people and they want like 2 glasses of Prosecco or 2 cocktails is like fine for me. But if I can get a mocktail that tastes just as good, I'll just get that. Wine makes my head hurt. Yeah.
Prosecco, that's very Issa coded. Very
I love 2 glasses of Prosecco. That's a perfect amount. And it's a good time. After that, I'm like, why are we here? It doesn't mean every once in a while you can't get, day drunk, whatever, have a fun time. I think that's cool. But like, yeah, I think restaurants just kind of, after a while, I was like, I'm good.
Girl, yeah. I've lived the life, girl. I've lived the life.
Now, so weed is, here we go.
No,
we can get into it.
It doesn't have to be a hard shift. First of all, I miss talking to you. So, like Khadij, in my head, for the people who don't know, and just talking directly to you, I genuinely view you and maybe like 2 or 3 other people as like internet cousins. One, because I feel like I'm stunning, you're stunning.
Stop it. bad.
But also, it's really the heart of your messaging, which is why when I was going live and people were in my live chat like, oh my God, Khadijah is live right now. I'm so conflicted. And I'm like, what are they talking about? And then Beyonce came up in the comments. I said, let me because I will be very honest with you. Mm-hmm. I will be very honest. Like I said, in my head, we are a parasocial family. You're my cousin, right?
We are parasocial cousins. This is true.
Right.
This is true.
But I saw Beyonce and what could be unfavorable critique. And I said, let me
come talk to my cousin real quick, because we might get into our first fight. I'm kidding.
No, yeah. But see, no, I always, this is a conversation that I always have behind closed doors. Like me and my closest friends, I'm like, girl, this is kitchen table talk.
Yeah. This is for the group chat usually. I'm airing out our dirty laundry now. This is what because people don't want to do this conversation, but we have to.
This is the conversation that like we're like not ever trying to have publicly.
No.
There's a couple of those conversations that is like, girl, we're just not going to wake that up.
What's another comment in the chat? Another conversation that a lot of us aren't ready to have. Forget about hot takes. Let's talk about conversations we're just not ready to have.
If y'all don't lead with Tyler Perry.
Ooh! The fucking horn outside just.
Well, I don't make the rules. Well, listen here. Here's what I'll say. I did a video, and this is why I was like, I have to talk to them about this. I did a video a couple weeks back about, it was like my review and my analysis of Beyonce's Renaissance film, which I thought was truly spectacular, idyllic, a cinematic masterpiece.
Okay.
Right? From the space of specifically art, stellar. It is stellar. Mm-hmm. Now, once we place art in the context of the political, we have to start developing different kinds of critiques. Yeah. And that's where I was like, as I'm writing the video, like drafting it, I do like an outline of like where I think I want to go, right? As I'm writing the video, I'm like, I've got to be real about the fullness of my thoughts. And the fullness of my thoughts with respect to Beyonce, and it's also like, I don't want to be harder on Beyonce than I would Willy Wonka.
Wonka?
Girl, stay with me.
Okay, I'll stay. I'm here.
Stay with me. Taylor Swift. I'm talking about all the movies that came out during the time of the things that are happening.
Okay, sorry. I was like, the fuck does Willy Wonka have to do with? I was like,
what the fuck is your connection?
Okay.
That's like me when RuPaul introduced them golden candy bars.
No, that wasn't just you. That was all of us. We were like, so you get the candy bar, but somebody has a gold one. But then y'all are doing a lip sync Lollapalooza because everybody was But then, no.
And then it's this.
It's chocolate. But
girl, the heartbreak.
They gave us
heartbreak.
They gave us that. It's chocolate. It's so funny. To this day, it'll be fun. It's
that. I got it.
And Oprah looking at Meghan Markle when she said that they were questioning the sex of the race of the baby, and her going, "What?
What?"
Oprah.
Well, I'm changing my
friends
wig
sometimes, and I just go, "What?"
I'm changing my wig because this wig is taking up too much light. Hold on.
Oh my God. Ooh, people are saying Oprah. Oprah is one of the conversations that we're not ready to have.
Oh, girl. Yeah, girl, I'm not.
I had been working on a video about Oprah like 2 years ago. And when I started researching it, I was like, yeah, I got to stop listening to Super Soul Sunday. I was like,
no,
It's time.
It's time. You know what though? And that is our job. I think that this all ties into a bunch of different conversations. Now,
continue. Why would you be harsher on, you want to make sure that you're not being harsher on the Beyonce film than you are on Willy Wonka, Taylor, all that.
And the bevy of films that have been released and have been shown in Israel. Right. And I do think there's a specific critique around Israelis who are similar people who are praising the bombings of, I don't know how much I want to say because it's going to be demonetized, but
it's fine. People know where I stand, so it's not a secret.
It's, you know what it is too. Before we go into the Beyonce-ness of it all, because we're going to go there. The conversation is incredibly complex, and there's so many folks who have dedicated themselves to holding multiple things at once. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like you have to remind people when you speak online, because people want to use you as an avatar for their thoughts and their specific thoughts, their specific opinions. They don't really, sometimes people don't make space for the nuance of I am my own individual. And so although we align a lot ethically and a lot politically, I am allowed to express the fullness of my thoughts, right? Yeah. And I think that there are some people who can hold the conversation about anti-Semitism is unequivocally wrong, and talk about what's happening in Palestine in such an articulate way. And I've been not wanting to speak on that because, one, I don't feel like that's really what I do online. I think what I do is more so like, let's talk about pop culture and try to intellectualize these conversations, and it has a particular intersectional feminist ethos. And so it is not divorced from the conversations of international terrors and human rights violations. So there's definitely a space for me to talk about it, and for you to talk about it, and for people like us to talk about it. But what I really want people to do, and what I really wanted to do, and I'm gonna do, is point people in the direction of folks who really know what they're talking about. Because I don't have the full range. Now, Beyonce. Perfect. 10. I think that there's a couple of things that we need to say here, because like I said, I did post a video of a review of Beyonce's Renaissance film. I took it down for a little bit because I was just like, I hate these comments. And honestly, sometimes you can feel like the world hates you and is just swallowing you.
Yep. If enough people are misunderstanding you in a row, it's like, all right.
It's too much now. It's too much now. Because some people are being willfully obtuse, and then other people are genuinely misunderstanding what you're saying. Yeah. Or some people are just like, I get what you're saying. This is just not what I wanted from you. I expected something different, and therefore I don't live for this fake. And here's what I'll say. I said this in that video. There is a difference between advocacy and activism. Right. And so everybody is not most people, the vast majority, right, of people are not activists. When we think about people who did sit-ins, when we think about people who were on the front lines for gay rights, and people who were fighting against the Lavender Scare, and just anything in history, name things in history, and people who are willing to put their bodies, their words, their energies and efforts, the vast majority of people were not contributing to activism. I would say of the scope of people who were politically engaged and speaking out, there were more advocates. An advocate, and the distinguish, what am I looking for?
Distinction.
Thank you. Is advocacy is the public support or recognition of a particular cause or policy, right? So I am in support of ending this thing, right? I'm in support of a ceasefire. And so I am vocal about that thing. Activism is the policy or action, follow that verb, or action of using rigorous campaigning to bring about political or social change. Ooh, and so I think that what people, and the vast majority of people who agree with us politically, ethically, right, more importantly, because the line of politics always changes. Ethically, people who align with us are not activists. And I'm going to speak for myself now. I'm not an activist. Would I like to be an activist in the future? Absolutely. Right. I'd love to be the kind of person who puts foot to pavement and shows up every time. But I know I have sometimes debilitating anxiety that stops me from doing certain things because I literally feel like I can't breathe from negative comments. So certain times I literally I can't do certain things, right? And so sometimes what people are asking for of people on a public platform, because you decide to do work publicly, which we decide to do this work, is not considerate of the
sacrifices associated with activism, as opposed, and also the sacrifices associated with advocacy. And both, I think, come with a decent amount of things. And I also want to say this too. There's a hyper dependence on celebrities and people in public spaces to speak against the institutions of power that platform them.
Mm.
And I think publicity should equate to a rightful use of power. I 100% think that. But this is the real world. And in the real world, we have to compartmentalize all of the things. And so Beyonce, Taylor Swift, immense power. Political, social, and cultural power, right? Taylor Swift says you guys should vote, and 300,000 people register to vote, right? But that compartmentalization looks like Taylor Swift introduced herself, Beyonce introduced herself, these people introduce themselves and maintain that they are performers. So when they perform activism, that is the way we should ingest that activism as a performer. They are not activists, they are performing activism. And so I don't necessarily think of that as, I don't think we can't hold those two truths at the same time, because she's always been a performer. And so I do think that when we start talking about people who really do this work, here's the thing. I think I don't hate if I'm hogging the bite. I'm gonna say this one little thing.
No, keep going.
I think that when celebrities speak out, because I just had this conversation earlier about Charlemagne, and this is the thing that I wanted y'all to remind me about if I forgot, about Charlemagne and his political power within the Black community and his influence and whether or not that's a helpful or harmful thing, right? And I think that when celebrities speak out, it offers us a host of things, challenges and opportunities. I've decided, because I'm in my affirmation year, that I'm going to be more optimistic. My titties are sitting high. My afro is big. And so for that reason...
My ass is juicy. Yes.
I just felt the Tracee Ellis Ross come out of you.
Oh, yeah. No. Tracee Ellis Ross is who I'm going. Y'all are going to be like, could he just basically Tracee Ellis Ross 10 years from now? Like, that's just by myself. Y'all aren't going to know about my lovers, but I will have them. And
you'll be stunning.
And I'll just be fit as fuck, just hanging out. Hips and thighs looking juicy. Side note, this is something that people have been commenting that I actually find funny. People have been commenting, I didn't know you were thick.
They didn't know you were thick?
Yes. And I don't know what measurements precisely qualify one as thick, but I'm like, have y'all not been on my Instagram? I'm literally always showing my ass on there. Like, it's not a secret. It's not anything. But people are like, wait a minute. What? You have thighs? I'm like, literally. Okay.
Let me say this. I'm not a lesbian.
And I'm not incestuous.
But, right. And I'm not incestuous. But Khadij slides on my timeline and everything stops. The room gets blurry because my attention has hyper-focused on the screen. Honestly, what I do think too, within the Tracee Ellis Ross of it all, I think you do have a capacity to command a kind of sensuality while not losing, because sometimes sensuality, particularly because of the misogynistic lens that women are viewed under, you kind of lose your personhood in that.
Yes.
And what you bring to the table.
Yes.
I don't know how you strike this delicate balance. But it's all of who you are as a person, your quirkiness, your awkwardness, your sensuality, your all of the things live with you on that ball. Yeah! And I get my mind.
Thank you.
I get my mind.
Thank you. Because truly, it's something I've been thinking about a lot, because I am working on a pole opera show about seduction, and some of the songs are more overtly seductive and lean into that part of me where I can like turn on my Princess Nala eyes and just be like, what's up? But then there are other ones that are just more exciting, and the seduction of like life and what that can be, what that can do, my absolute reverence for it. So yeah, I really appreciate that, being seen as the fullness of my personhood, because it's been me working on that a lot. And yeah, when I was really young, I was quite modest in terms of how I dressed and what I'd show. I was not the kind of person, like, I didn't wear a hijab or anything, but I was not the kind of person that wanted to, like, have my body looked at. And now I have come into a place where I feel connected to my body in such a way that having it looked at is just, like, to me, it's like, yeah, okay, you can look if you want to, but it's of no consequence to me. Like, I am trying, not even trying, it's just like I'm trying to connect to myself, and how that looks is me trying to exude from the inside out and less from the observed to observed object. Like, you are observing me, sure, but I am forcing you to. And there is a power in that as well, which is why I don't ever like to completely discredit eroticism and sensuality, but I do know that people tend to package it and sell it in certain ways as, like, female empowerment, and, you know, so there's a lot going on there for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that was a side note.
No, that's a conversation in and of itself. Like, we could literally, first of all, I love the rhythm of a conversation where it's like, wait, what was I talking about?
Right?
That's for it. Because one, it's real. Two, it's like, yes, there's certainly several conversations to be had about the internet's. This is the thing about internet education. There are people who do the reading, who do the work, who do the research.
Yeah.
Khadijah is one of those people.
Thank you. I appreciate
that.
Jadija, somebody in the chat, Jadija.
Like, what am I even saying? Spit it out, man. The Khadijah business model is very that. And also just like the way you disseminate content, right? But then there are also people who have half-baked takes that don't consider that sometimes sensuality is just sensuality. It's nothing to do with empowerment. However, it's such a sticky conversation, right? Because when you're talking about particular bodies, you're having several conversations at once.
That's the other part.
Because if you're in a Black body and you are in control of how you want to present yourself sensually, that is empowering. If you're in a dark Black body and you're in control of how you want to disseminate, that is empowering, period, full stop. And then also, if you're in any other body that's sexualized, Latinx body, a woman's body, right?
And I would say, especially, I say the shape of your body, because that's the other thing, right? People will point out that I'm thick. My body type is associated with a certain sexuality and sensuality, where you will see other pole dancers that I am friends with that are short and skinny, or short and, like, super muscular, and it's not immediately clocked of their body being, like, sexualized in that way to most people, right? Not because most people find a figure eight or a pear-shaped body attractive, but because that's what the beauty standard has been for the last little while. And it's fluctuated between skinny versions of that and thicker versions of that, but it's still that shape, right? And that shape, I think of Jessica Rabbit, immediately comes to mind. You know, people, when a feminine body has titty sitting high, a skinny itty bitty waist, and a thick juicy booty and thighs, that body is guilty.
You're describing me. Hold on,
but that body is immediately. I hate you.
I feel seen.
Oh, sorry. Had to adjust because of my thick, juicy ass. Sorry. But no, like, people. I heard Rock'em Sakura say that once, and I could not. Was it Rock'em Sakura? I think she was on one of the. She was on one of. Anyway, doesn't matter. But she was sitting on a microphone and was like, my thick, juicy ass. But yeah, that body type is sexualized, and then people, like. So I could literally just be wearing a skirt and a t-shirt, and because of the way it sits on my body, it's gonna be some inherent sexual thing to others, even if it's not to me.
Yeah.
And that's the part of it that I can't control, which is why I always say sexual desire versus sexual access. You can desire anyone all day long. That's your mind. No one can tell you what to do with your mind and your thoughts. But that doesn't mean you have access to my body. That doesn't mean I'm giving you permission. And consent is always context-based. I could be a damn porn star. Just because you see me on the street doesn't mean I'm inviting you for sex. Some of y'all don't understand that, but anyway.
The girls, y'all can get that next week. As my pastor would say, y'all gonna get that next week. We're way off track, but I agree.
But no, speaking of sexuality and bodies then, because Beyonce is someone that did come into this feminism gig and game with driving up the partition fast. Over there, I swear I heard them cameras flash.
Girl, bootylicious.
Listen, and bootylicious.
Honestly, there's so much. This is why, as a kid, and I say this a lot on my channel, I thought Beyonce was not human. I thought Beyonce was not, and I didn't initially think that, but with continual and like I used to steal my mother's heels, my sister's bra, because my mom's bra was a little too big. I wasn't going for a triple D. I was going for a C32. That's what my sister was at that time. And I would get her wigs and all the things. Mm-hmm. And I would step into my Beyonce fantasy.
Yes.
And I just was like, the way that this woman moves, operates, the proportions of her body are way too up. And I didn't have the language for this, but way too aligned with the ideal beauty standard. Like, she's literally perfection personified. How did you do that? Can't be human.
And it's not that you're saying, I think Beyonce is perfect and inhuman, but the way that we would describe somebody that is the perfect female body type, or, you know, she does have lighter skin. People just recently discovered that she's light-skinned. I was like, y'all.
Well, I absolutely was saying that Beyonce is perfect and inhuman.
Okay, fair. Okay, yeah. Okay.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Okay, I'm the problem.
Listen,
but I mean, I also was like 12. But as an adult, I would never say that, because I understand. My heart wouldn't allow me to dehumanize anybody like that, right? Because it makes me feel bad to do that. But as a kid, I'm like, oh, if I was going to be anybody, it would be Beyonce. Like, she's like, not even seeing her as a full human being. And so that's a part of like learning and things. Anyway, let's
somebody said even with baby teeth. Y'all are so annoying. Beyonce do have really small teeth though. It's like Jacob Elordi. If Jacob Elordi changes his teeth, I'm gonna be real sad. Because he got little gopher teeth, and I love them. Are we wrong? Because Hollywood, the first thing they do is change your teeth.
I'll never.
She has baby teeth. Her teeth are so tiny. They're so cute. Don't do that. It's true. Beyonce's teeth are cute. I'm not saying it in any sort of negative way. She got baby teeth. That's why her smile is so cute. And that's why I think she also has that youthful look about her, besides maybe Botox and other things, you know, some treatment. Don't do me. We are not allowed to act. Okay, here's an unspoken rule about the Hive. You're not allowed to acknowledge that Beyonce might have had tweakments. She has. Beyonce has tweakments, and it is perfectly okay. If Beyonce has had a little something in her forehead, good for you, girl. I was watching her forehead during Renaissance. And I know black don't crack.
And it
Beyonce is not only black. Don't do that. You know Beyonce has a lot of other things mixed with her.
Well, black is a race, so she's 100% black. But you know, yeah,
you don't want to hear this. This is what happens when you talk to a young Hive member. See, because you don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
But listen, I don't think Botox is a crime. This is a safe space, so say it. Beyonce might have had Botox, and that's fine. I'm not saying she has.
If J-Lo is using
probably has
to keep that look, Beyonce is using, girl, I don't know.
Beyonce is using technology that does not exist yet. So y'all don't do me.
Ancestral magic. Beyonce is tapped into Oshun and all those other African.
Bye. Don't bring Oshun into this. Do not do this.
She eats grass-fed beef, honey.
Oh my God.
And cage-free
girl,
eggs.
just be like Oprah. Oprah was like, oh, Ozempic. She said it.
She did.
And you know what? It's maybe problematic, but I'd rather her say it than act like she's just dieting and exercising.
No, it's important. Next case.
Yeah, next topic, huh? Because you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. Because you don't want to hear that Beyonce might have had a little Botox. How did you feel about T's video talking about Beyonce might have had a BBL?
Oh, girl, I ran the other way. Oh, girl, I almost tripped when I was running the other day. I almost tripped trying to get out of the way, girl. I said, now hold on, T. And I love T's work.
Right?
I met them, never communicated with them, but I love what they do. But when I saw that particular video, and I watched it. And
I bet you did. Through your fan. Through them little holes in your fan.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe she did this. I don't have anything to say. Beyonce is a vegan. Like, Beyonce is a vegan. Like,
shut up.
Like, girl, what do you expect?
Herbie tried it. Herbie fucking tried it. This is what happened. You see?
Girl,
denial. It's not just a river in Egypt.
Right. Right. I have nothing further to say about Beyonce's natural anything.
And honestly, listen, if she has or has not, she probably won't tell us until she writes a tell-all. And maybe she won't ever. You know, whatever.
That tell-all would be nasty.
Because I need to know. You know, Solange needs to write a tell-all. That's who I want to hear from. Solange.
Girl,
Solange.
Right. That
Come
shoe.
Here. Come here.
That shoe and that dress.
Be
I
evil.
need the audio. Do you genuinely believe
I need the audio.
that elevator tape has no audio?
No, bitch. That tape has audio. Jules went right to security right after that happened and was like, I'm sure you understand why I'm here. Because the way Beyonce walked out smiling, like Solange couldn't hide her face. We all saw Solange with that. She looked like she was exhaling. Well, you know that.
Bury that. I need Solange as my bodyguard.
One of my friends said we should have known there was trouble afoot when she had that wig on. That was a battle wig. That's what one of my friends said.
No, yeah. That wig is
It's
a
like,
Monet Exchange pussy doll wig. It's
somebody
very
posted, are these the type of shoes you wear when you stand on business? And somebody else commented, we all know whose feet those are. I knew exactly whose shoes those were. Listen.
Girl,
Solange,
that strap
Jay-Z walked out trying to keep it together, but he always looked a little confused, so it's fine.
Always.
Just like in the public, like not to like be rude. He just, Solange, and I would be confused if I just got attacked in an elevator too. So actually that was a fair response.
Right,
Not confused if I knew what happened, but one thing niggas will have is audacity to look confused when your sister attacks you for cheating on
allegedly
Beyonce. It's like they will have the audacity to look confused at you.
And that pisses me off. Let's pause right here. That pisses me off. Because honestly, Beyonce is a trained actress. The girl who says she can't act.
This is the thing. I'm like, y'all are trying it because Beyonce walked out of that elevator smiling. If that tape did not come out, we would have never known.
But see, I once did a video entitled Beyonce's One Weakness, and it was about her acting. I took it down and put it exclusively on the Patreon because I didn't want to be dragged by the beehive. But it was about her acting. We went through every single acting. It's
gotten better as the movies have gone on. I genuinely think her acting has gotten better. No? What? Hold up.
Girl. No, girl. No, girl. No, girl. Get anybody else to do it. Get anybody else to do it. I said, is Nala about to Sasha Fierce the house down boots? Is Nala about to cozy? Nala was getting very much. Okay. One, yes, we're standing on business. Them strap sandals, she ate it. But in other Beyonce news, and then we'll circle back to where we were supposed to go. In other Beyonce,
we were supposed to go.
Like, it's a lot. Beyonce is allegedly performing at the Grammys, and she's doing a tribute to Tina Turner. Now, here's the gag.
Okay, that makes sense.
Here's the gag. Here's the gag. the girls, the Beyonce streets. And if my beehive is in the chat, I need to see the bees are buzzing in the comments. Now,
Here we go.
now, strike.
Here we go.
The Beehive Streets have been saying that Act 2 is going to be a rock album.
I'm tired of y'all talking about Act 2 and 3. It's over. Beyonce's tired.
Oh, Khadijah, have you no hope?
No. Have you not seen how my 2024 is going? You didn't see those memes I made? 2024 is a wrap.
I honestly was worried.
It's a wrap.
I was worried, and then I saw your last story where you were like, I'm allowed to be in a bad mood, and like maybe it won't always be like this. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna DM them because I didn't want to DM them and be like, I'm here for you, and you're like, bitch, I'm just having a bad day.
I came as soon as I heard.
Right, like you're giving a lot, mama. It's just the best.
No, I'm good. Listen, I'm the child of immigrants. Okay, I'm gonna figure it out. One thing I'm gonna do is have nerve.
Hello.
And run off spite.
Right. The child of an immigrant thing is a whole other conversation too. As a child of an immigrant. But where we were initially before we got into Beyonce,
distracted, was that y'all need to manage your expectations about celebrities. The first thing I had said was, it is fair to want somebody with a large platform who could influence their impressionable audience to do whatever they say, to do that shit. It is valuable. It is reasonable to think that. What is wild to me, strange, is that y'all have expectations of people that do not know you exist. Imagine that. Imagine you walk up to Beyonce, let's say. Why didn't you say XYZ?
Yeah, no, not like that. But
why didn't you meet my expectations of this? And I'm, hold on, because I understand that the girlies have a reason to be upset because, hey, I look up to you as an artist. I appreciate you, this, that, and the other. You have a large platform. You have spoken about certain political issues when we never actually expected it from you before, but you did. And so you introduced me to feminism and loving my blackness and blah, 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 blah. Maybe that's as far as Beyonce can take you, is the other part. And also, maybe that's all she cares about. Like, y'all are like, her silence speaks volumes. It's not speaking loud enough if y'all are still obsessed in her DMs asking her to speak more. Her silence is not loud enough for some of y'all. It's not. I love Beyonce down. Don't play with me. I went to New Orleans to see her, okay? She is somebody whose work ethic and just involvement in every aspect of her creative process is what I'm planning on doing, is what I like, is what I appreciate. I'm not necessarily planning on becoming a billionaire, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, for me, and even saying that feels weird because it's like you have to be part of some club that's like, I promise I'll stay poor. When like, that's not, in the world that we live in, I'm not going to promise anybody that. Like, I'm just not. I got family to take care of. I got business to take care of. I got student loan debt to pay off. But I am somebody that understands that the kind of business that I want to run is me learning what not to do from exploitative practices, what not to do from hoarding money and all this sort of stuff. So I'm not too worried about that. Whatever. Beyonce was born in 1981. Millennials have a lot of a divide. And I think this even with my older siblings who were born in the early mid 80s, they have a different attitude towards a lot of these politics than we do. For them, feminism is as far as they could go. Not all of them. I'm not saying all older millennials are like boomers and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying, manage your expectations about this lady that you do not know, because people will show up how they show up, and what they show you should give you the information you need. And also, sorry, side note, Beyonce probably, what if she's donating behind the scenes? I'm a kind of person where if I'm going to send money to people, I try to do it anonymously because I don't need people knowing my business. But a lot of y'all want to see Beyonce has donated $1 million to Gaza because you want the image of the thing. You don't care about what that would actually do. What is her donating $1 million going to do if we can get aid to Gaza? If you're following Palestinians in Gaza right now, they're not seeing a lot of that.
Or you mean what is her publicly donating $1 million?
Yes, what is her? I'm not saying that she shouldn't donate or whatever. Like, she has money, but money doesn't solve all the problems, because if there's still a genocide happening, it's still a genocide happening, whether you're throwing money at it or not. I just think that a lot of us don't realize, because we live in this part of the world, we are so enamored with celebrity culture and thinking that media and that is the most powerful only thing, when it's actually the most distracting powerful thing. It's not the most powerful thing. It's the thing that we're looking at while other things are happening that we aren't privy to or aren't taking part in. And I put on my video, hey, like, I was working with this NGO getting people to vote for their representatives because, you know, the way this election is looking, nobody has a good candidate. And if it comes down to votes and Congress has to decide who's going to be president, I would rather see people that I voted for in my area be one of those voters. But the thing that I notice with progressive folks and leftists is somebody try to comment, oh, I don't trust the state and blah, blah, blah. It's fair to not trust the state. It's fair for all of this shit, right? But the thing that people on the right and conservatives have done is utilize voting, utilize organizing, utilize this alleged democracy to their advantage. And the rest of us are sitting here arguing over whether democracy is real or not, while other people are actually going and voting and making actual legislative, tangible changes in your life.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I went a lot of different places. I apologize. I just was like, that's one thing that will always drive me nuts, is when people choose to like not participate in voting or say that they're just not going to vote because both candidates suck and blah, 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 or representatives suck. And I'm just like, if you don't even know who your representative for your state is, that's something you need to evaluate, because they're the people that are making changes that are going to show up down the line that you maybe don't see right now because you're too busy focused on what celebrities are or are not saying or doing.
Yeah. You know what I want to say to that?
Stacey Abrams saved Georgia. I'm sorry. Like, y'all, and I know the Democrats, but Stacey Abrams did a lot of work to make sure people were registered to vote in Georgia. And I remember, again, I was embarrassed that I didn't vote till 2020, but I was like, you know what? Let me do it. I have all the excuses in the world. I don't live in America anymore. I don't have to. Khadija, do it. Come to find out, the literal county that I was voting in Georgia was also one of those counties that Biden won by tens of thousands of votes.
Wow.
It matters. And I know democracy is a joke right now, but you still do the work. I can acknowledge that I don't trust Democrats or Republicans, and I think all of it is ashy, but I'm still going to use my vote to have someone better than other people that are, anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to step on this soapbox. Back to Beyonce.
No. You introduced such powerful stuff. And I also want to say that I feel like democracy and democracy, I get what you're saying, because a lot of people feel that way, that democracy is a joke. But I don't necessarily think that it's a joke so much as it's being comedized.
Yes!
By the right wing in an effort to, because I feel like an onslaught of negative perceived media begets with an already civically ignorant audience. So a lot of the audience is not civically engaged or politically smart. And that doesn't mean that you're not smart and enough.
Ranked choice voting. Yes, we need to do more of that, but unfortunately. Anyway.
See, ranked choice voting, I heard somebody talk about that, and that's how we got the mayor of New York City. Who is slowly but surely dismantling all the good things in like New York City.
But I mean, it's not going to always be the best, because with ranked choice voting, you have to have good candidates. Like, if you had shitty candidates to begin with, no matter how you do that, it's going to be.
And you have to inform the people that ranked choice voting is a thing. You can't just shift the way that people vote. and not inform them of the difference.
Yes.
Which I think was a part of the issue with New York City. Neither here nor there. I think that kind of ignorance, I think a lot of what's happening politically is exploitation of ignorance, and something that I see in the and in that kind of exploitation, and then serving you a bunch of negative media, right? Negative media and cat fights, or like the right will agitate the left to the point where it's like they have to respond to beget a culture war. And I think Sunny Hostin is going viral for talking about grievance politics right now. And it creates a kind of nihilism. Like nihilism has always been a thing. People are just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about anything. It just is what it is. But I think it's happening now in a way that's really unprecedented, in a way that's new. And I think that nihilism does not help, right? Like, girl, what is the real tea? But I also think it's not, and this is something that you spoke to earlier. Like, and I'm not going to say any particular celebrity's name. There are people who vote and they are one issue voters. They are voting because women's rights for reproductive health has been stripped away, and they want to undo that thing. Of course, that's going to have a domino effect, but the issue that brought them here to vote for this particular candidate is this one issue, right? And we respect those people because they're voting in this scenario. They're voting in our favor. There are celebrities who are and also just like every other person who have specific issues that they want their art to speak to. And there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is your hyper dependence on a celebrity to speak to the myriad of issues and the multiplicity of those issues when they are not a person with the expertise to do that thing.
Like they don't have the range, the bandwidth. You barely have the range. Like, I'm like, you know what? How many of y'all have not only stopped, like, watch my videos and engage with them, but gone to the sources and engaged with those directly? Because somebody else had pointed this out online, and I keep forgetting her username. It's an Instagram, but like, she was like, when you're watching me talk about something, you're watching me engage with that text or that post or whatever. That's not you engaging with it. When I'm reading something, I'm writing chapter summaries at the end of it. I'm tabbing things because I know I'm not going to remember everything. I'm talking with my friends about something weird that I read in something. So, and I'm walking around my apartment talking to myself and my damn cats about what I'm reading, because the point is I'm engaging with the work and trying to understand how I see it. And a lot of folks, it feels like they are waiting for those people to tell them how they see it, reflect it back. And sometimes people can do a thing of articulating things for you. People have said a lot of times, I've articulated something they didn't quite know how to say, which I understand because plenty of people have done it for me. But you have to learn how to articulate it for yourself too. There's Absolutely. One of my favorite sayings is, knowing is only rumor until it lives in the muscle. You can know something. We know a lot of things, but until you experience something, let's say, you don't really know how you would react. Until you engage with something and learn about it through doing, through it living in your body, you don't really know it. You know it. You know what I'm saying? It's only a rumor until it lives in the muscle. And this is why I wish more leftists, progressives, whatever, would stop only intellectualizing and start learning about social emotional learning, and also have some sort of spiritual practice, not necessarily being religious or worshiping a god or something, but having some sort of spiritual practice so that you can understand it's so much more than just theorizing and thinking about these things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're an icon, you're a legend, and you just and you just ate that the fuck up. Okay, detour. Can I take a detour?
Let's go.
You speak about you speak about. Oh my god.
Whatever. Spoke about. Who cares? Words are made out.
You spoke about spirituality or whatever. Like, and I also think that's all I think. So do you think that Little Nas X is gonna shake the girls' ground with this
I
video?
Lil Nas X is the biggest troll on the planet, and I think
No,
he
he's
is
a
so funny.
problem.
He is a menace to society. If he was 5 foot, it would all make even more sense because short people are menaces.
Yeah. Very me coded. Very me coded. Like literally me coded.
But he is a menace, and I appreciate it because he's just funny. Like, he just gets it. He's creative in so many different ways. He's just constantly trying to create things. He doesn't need a marketing team. He does what he does, and it becomes marketing. You know what I mean? Like, he's just playing around with shit and seeing what works. Hiring somebody to pretend to be the Queen of England. And where was she coming from, that ladder, girl? Where was she coming down from?
That bitch is not going to heaven.
But it was so funny for him to just be like, "Oh yeah, we were gonna do something if you didn't like it." Anyway, thanks, Queen Elizabeth.
In the little trailer,
we love you, Queen Elizabeth. Like,
love you.
He's making a joke where, like, you have to get it or know that he's not stupid in order to think it's funny. And this is another thing with comedy. A lot of times, people think that you're dumb and that's why you don't get the joke, or you don't know how to make a joke. Like, I'll say certain things and people be like, "Oh, but you shouldn't be, blah, blah, blah." Even those memes that I posted, it was a way to make fun of the fact that 2024 was so bad. And I thought it was hilarious. And people were like, "Of all people, I didn't expect you to do this." And it's like, shut up.
Hi, girl. But also, satire does require a level of intellectualism.
And that's the thing. It's not to say you are a stupid idiot who doesn't know anything if you don't get it. But you might be pretty ignorant to certain things if you don't understand the satire in certain things. It requires a level of knowledge about certain things to get people that are satirical, to get people that are referential. I watch a lot of reaction videos, and so much of it, when it's people that love media. So they're referencing movies and TV shows that I love, that I can quote. So I get the joke, but other people might not, and just might hear them be like, "What's wrong with this person? Why do they talk like this? Blah, blah, blah."
Yeah, I love people who do shit like that. Because also, like, you know who's really, this is not to bring it back to RuPaul's Drag Race, but they're so referential throughout the commentary all the time. And it makes me always want to, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know this about this person, or I didn't know this about Judy Garland, or I didn't know this about the Golden Girls. And it's like, they're referencing so many things, and it's just like, okay, girl, you want to continually know stuff. There's also another time, another thing, when people say that you're ignorant to something, there are trillions of things to know. And so everybody's going to be ignorant to a myriad of things. And that's the beauty of it, because it's like you'll never get every reference. You'll never be smart in every context. Most of us are dumb in multiple contexts. And so that's fine.
But here's the thing. You're taking the judgment off of it. And this is what I wish more people would do. Not just the judgment, but the characterization of it. We will say things as judgments or characterize things because that's our truth. Which is why, to bring it back to what I was how I named the title of the video, I was like, y'all's obsession with celebs as activists is strange to me. And I said strange to me instead of saying y'all are weird, because one, my ego and my Scorpio moon was like, call them weird. But I was like, hey, that's a way to attack. That's not a way to understand. So I'm saying, to me, it's strange. If somebody is projecting and going, well, you think I'm a weirdo and you think I'm XYZ, blah, blah, it's like, I said, to me, it is strange, because it is. And I'm only speaking from my opinion and my perspective. No. It is not the absolute truth, because I know I don't speak from any place of authority. All of what most of us are saying are just opinions. It's literally just what we think about something.
Right.
And I wish people would stop taking it so personally, decenter yourself with a lot of this stuff, and seek to understand instead of listening to have a counter argument. Like, so many people, I'm like, you don't watch the full video because you're just watching so that you can write your 2 cents into it. You're not watching these things or listening to these things or reading these things to understand and learn. You're listening to critique, which means you're not listening. You're listening for specific things. You're not listening holistically. You're listening for specific things that you can debate, argue against, XYZ. And this is what I mean by a social emotional learning and a sort of spiritual practice. Because when you have that, you realize part of it is your ego and you needing to like be right about stuff and have your voice heard all the time and whatever, and be defensive. And the other part of it is that you learn, hey, okay, you know what? Actually, people usually speak from pretty defensive places because we're always used to being misunderstood and having to defend our position. So let me put my armor down for a second. That's why I tried to start this live by going, I will rant, but let me first off start by saying maybe what I was doing in the video wasn't clear. Let me take an ownership. Maybe the people, if enough people are critiquing the video in a similar way, then maybe I did something that was not clear. And some of y'all just didn't want to understand me. And I can hold those things as truths at the same time. And it's wild that I will have people who speak in absolutist terms be speaking to me in absolute terms and look at me and go, why are you such an absolutist? And I'm like, that's the last thing you could call me.
Girl.
What?
But
Anyway.
that's when you say they're trying to respond to critique, it's like, no, you're not. Right? Like, not even, I mean, you said a number of things, you're trying to argue, but the critique piece is like, you're not trying to respond to critique, you're trying to respond to combat, right? Like you said, to it's about your ego, because critique requires that you engage with the entirety of the material, that you think about it, that you cross-analyze and cross-reference, and then you come back with a refreshing and novel take. And the girls are not interested in doing that, unfortunately.
Or the scientific method. I just want us to get back to that. Remember a scientific method where you have a hypothesis and you go, is this true? Let me see if this is true. But a lot of us just go, I have a hypothesis or theory about the way the world is. And because it's a hunch, I think I'm right. And because of some anecdotes, I think I'm right. So instead of going out and seeking more information about this thing and potentially being proven wrong, like... I joke around, earlier videos, I joke around about death. And I talked about nihilism a lot early on. I was smiling about nihilism for a Beyonce Jay-Z connection that is not going to be obvious to anyone, but I will make it in a second. But I went through a period where I was really obsessed with and learning about it. And sorry, this is a tangent. What did I say right before that? I said something right before
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
The Jay-Z tie-in, but there was something right before that. Oh, yes. You have to be willing to let ideas die.
Oh, that's...
Death is, I talk about values that I have. I'm like learning, love, laughter. Death is a value of mine. Because as a creative person, I have to embrace that. As a human being, I have to embrace that. Everyone you know is, the only thing we have in common is, well, not the only thing, but the biggest thing we have in common is that we're all going to die. There is nobody that you have met on this earth that is not going to die.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Put the fan up. Be uncomfortable. Yep. I have a death tarot card tattoo because for me, it is, yes. This is my alt freaky black girl part. 2024 is for the alt black girls. No, but for real, because hear me out. Follow me.
Follower.
When you're creating something, if you are too attached to the way things are supposed to be and the way things are supposed to happen, and you're not willing to let certain ideas go, you're not willing to release certain things, how do you expect to grow or actually see what the project or whatever will look like as you go through the process? How can you say you are honoring the process when you are so steadfast and rigid in your own understanding of how a thing is supposed to be? You're not the only person here, and you're not the only person on the planet. For me, the more I have, and weed has helped me with this, I'll be honest, the more I have been truly been able to understand that things are going to die. And I think having a parent die really put that into perspective for me. Feeling like 4 years of like, I don't feel attached to anything in this world. Everything feels nebulous. Everything feels, it doesn't make sense. When you lose a parental figure like that, it is very difficult to walk through the world and understand how people can still be living. When not even just a parental figure, when you lose somebody close to you and the death looks you in the face, because so many of us know we're going to die, but we don't believe it. which is why we refuse to talk about it, which is why when that nervous pit in our stomach happens when we think about not being here anymore or think about dying one day, instead of sitting with that, we just go to something else immediately. Because when something dies, you don't know what's going to happen after.
Oh, girl, I know.
And it's hard. But you have to be okay. You have to be willing to look it in the face anyway. I truly was like, what the fuck is my life going to look like with my aunt not being here anymore? And it has been very difficult. It has been difficult having success on YouTube and her not being here. Having anything and her not seeing it. It has been difficult just feeling alone sometimes and knowing that a person that you knew that cared for you unconditionally isn't here anymore. But it has also been amazing that now that I have finally allowed myself to trust people and open to people again, including people in my own family, I can see the way my sister shows up for me, my siblings, my parents. I can see the way my friends show up for me. When I was sick this time period, my friend Jasmine, who some of you may actually know from Scream, Jasmine Savoy, she fucking drove me to the airport at 4 a.m. Not the airport, sorry, the hospital at 4 a.m. and was with me for like 5 hours, 6, 7 hours until my sister came and took over. And then my sister was there for a few hours. And then my friend Chelsea came and she took over because my sister had work. And had I held on to, well, I don't, right? And had I held on to, oh, I don't have this other person in my life that filled such a huge void of love, and now I don't know what to do without them, and nothing matters anymore, then I wouldn't have allowed myself those people.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? So this is also the spiritual part of things too, that like, I can't logic my way through that.
Yes, yes.
I have to just feel that love, and whether people might think my aunt brought those people to me or it's just the universe bringing me what I need or I was finally ready, whatever it is, I have it. And unfortunately, I have it not because my aunt died, but that's one of the reasons, because I didn't have that person as a big factor in my life. You know, so I'm really, I feel like Taraji. I mean this, goddammit. Listen to me. Listen.
You had to fight for this shit.
I had to fight. Damn it. But I mean this shit. Like, y'all, death is something you need to be willing to sit with more. Because it will make you also appreciate the things that you have while you have them and while they are here, because you know they will not be around. Not this pep talk.
Girl, let's step out of therapy. Oh my God. Let me tell you.
It always gets there with me, a therapy session. But yeah.
Well, first of all, on a serious note, I'm really sorry for your loss. And
no, it's like, it was my aunt's 5 years 2 days ago, and it was weird because I was just like, 5 years feels like yesterday. And this is one of the first times I'm talking about her without crying, actually. But like, yeah, I mostly cry now when I think about how amazing she was. And how I got to experience. Don't make me cry. I want to cry. Oh, no, I want to cry.
Girl, I wish I'd give you a real hug. Not even so much like a hug because my uncle, who was like a third parent.
Mm-hmm. That's what my aunt was.
My uncle believed that he was queer. He was single his whole life. He's Jamaican, came from Jamaica. My mom is Jamaican, and so everybody on my mom's side of the family is Jamaican. My father is Haitian. He came here from Haiti when he was like 17. So everybody his side of the family is Haitian. And so neither one of those cultures are very make it easy to be queer. And he passed away last April. Don't quote me, spring. And I told people on my other page this, that like, whenever I feel like I have to cry, I also feel a sensation to throw up. I don't know what this is about, but I get nauseous genuinely. And I've cried before and thrown up. So I really don't like to cry because I always feel like I have to throw up. And I was at his funeral. And when I say my uncle took me, my mom was Christian, period, full stop. She didn't wear pants because that's what men wear. She didn't wear makeup because that was vain. She wore skirts below the knees, very heavy in the Christian community. She's Pentecostal. For the people who know, they know. And so she didn't allow us to celebrate like Halloween and go trick-or-treating. And my uncle fought for that. When my parents would go away for anniversaries and birthdays, and he was always the only person. My parents had 4 kids, and my parents had kids in their teenage years. So they had 3 kids back to back. They still in their 20s. They want to be outside. And don't nobody want to watch 3 kids, me with a big ass mouth, my brother who was messy as hell, and my sister. It was just a lot of kids. And so he would always take us in, and he took us on walks. Even when we would walk, he would make an adventure out of it. He was literally a third parent and so important to my human development. And he's gone. And I've always had the belief that I've never been moved. I lost my cousin when I was in middle school. And I was just like, when people die, they're not really gone. They're just inaccessible. That's always been my approach. I'm just like, they're not accessible. But I'd never lost somebody who was so instrumental to my life, especially because I just knew he was queer. Girl, there's no way you're in your 50s. Not he could still be a bachelor, but I've never seen a woman. You've never talked about a woman. I'm always around your home. I've never seen a man either. So he could potentially have been asexual. But that was not a heterosexual man. That was not a heterosexual man. And when I came out, easiest conversation. It was like nothing changed. And it wasn't the same for my parents. My dad was very abusive, physically and emotionally. My mom was abusive, is supportive of his abuse, physical abuse, and when she was emotionally abusive. And he was not. He was a Jamaican straight man who was just accepting. Girl, hold on. What I will say is I still have that same approach. So I do like to operate in a fairy world that doesn't exist. It's very much, girl, no, people don't die. Girl, when I leave, I've just exploded into pixie dust, honey. Until next time, it's it's an ellipses, bitch.
Listen, and that everybody has their different ways of coping, right? For me, I'm somebody that like needs to see the hard thing. I need to look it in the face directly. Like when I talk about how a couple of years ago during the 9/11 anniversary, I really needed to like understand what 9/11 was because I was like 9 when it happened. So I didn't really get it. And I was watching all these documentaries and I just was bawling. Like I just was like so devastated seeing people jumping out of buildings and having all these officers talk about people, hearing phone calls. Like and I don't know any of these people, but I needed to just like consume myself in what happened so that I wouldn't be as scared of it. Not to say that I wouldn't still feel it, but so that I wouldn't be as scared of it. Because people ... going out, and that scares me. I have abandonment issues real bad. So it's terrifying, right? To be like, I don't know where you are and I can never talk to you. And that feels so final, right? The finality of that is what is so jarring. But I think we're both saying similar things because I'm talking about looking at the finality of that and then allowing the ... to have that space. Because the ... I'm about to cry. The ... this is trash. Is my parents being different. And my friends showing up in ways that like I would have never thought existed. You know? So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, oh my God.
Whatever.
League, we're iconic and needed.
Let me just dry these tears this way. Come on.
Girl.
Woo.
Shout out to the ellipses, though.
I have an ellipses tattooed on my wrist. It was one of my first tattoos.
This is why I say
there's something.
There's something here.
Oh,
We need
y'all.
to do a 23andMe. We're gonna do a 23andMe, and like I'm gonna have a talk
23andMe.
show. You're gonna have either I'm gonna have a talk show, and you're gonna have a really reputable podcast, or the inverse is true, or both those things will be true.
Listen.
And we're gonna be like, actually, guys, we've both done 23andMe. And we are biological cousins.
Like,
I don't know how it happened,
but we're here.
But we're here, girl. Maybe like 16 generations removed,
Right?
You know,
I wanna for y'all.
No.
Also, for people in the chat, I feel bad because I feel like we've been ignoring them this whole time. I wanted to try and see. I cried watching Selena in school. Oh my God, the way I bawled watching Selena. Don't play with me, because I remember being like, she just was so nice and cared about people, bro.
And stunning. Like it's one, like she was nice, great. And I watched that for the first time, I think this year.
What?
At my job. I gotta get a new job. That's another thing. I got a job. This job does not pay enough.
It does not.
Can we talk about that? This job does not pay enough.
Have you reached out to sponsors?
Can we have a conversation about that?
We will. Yeah. No. You
people,
need to be making some kind of money. Like, that's not. Yeah. There, you can have a smaller channel and still have sponsors. So that. Yeah.
So we didn't have that conversation. Now, I feel like we're gonna have to go ahead and wrap this up. But I do want to say this. This is damn near 2 hours in the video.
Damn.
But to the people who are on my, I know there are people who are on my Patreon because I see them. I see Haley, I see Baboosh, I see Shakira, and other folks who are on my Patreon. Well, I was supposed to do a Patreon video.
Oh.
Yeah. I was supposed to do a Patreon video. No, but it's fine. I was gonna do a Patreon video for talking about a number of things that are happening in the news. Taraji and Oprah's alleged beef, Halle introducing her baby to the world, and how like Black women's pregnancy is politicized. A number of things that are happening in the world. We're still gonna do that. The people who are on here, we'll do that tomorrow. But I do want to say this. Do I want to say this now? Maybe I don't want to say this in a public space.
Okay.
Maybe I'll hit you up, because I think that there needs to be something. Where is your Patreon? On my page.
If y'all have not followed Herbie this whole time in this live stream, that's strange.
That's quite strange.
That's peculiar.
We're all confused here.
A little weird.
Herbie Revolt. I'm sure if you type Herbie in YouTube, I'll be the first thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Queen Herbie though. They're an icon. They're a legend.
I don't know who that is, but okay. Yes,
Yeah,
like Poe said, very odd. Very odd.
Very odd.
Very
anyway, yeah, the conversation that I want to have, we'll have separately, and we'll have the sponsorship conversation, because I never know what to do with that.
Yeah. Okay. No. I'm down to help you out. No worries. Honestly.
So what I want to say is I learned so much from this conversation. I'm happy that we did this. I missed having conversations, like I said at the top of the video. And I think that, what do I want to say? Yeah, I love the fluidity of these conversations, and we need to do this more.
Yeah.
Like sprinkled throughout the year.
Yeah. Because they're fun. Like, I like going live, but sometimes I'm like, I'm tired of just hearing myself talk. You know, like,
yeah,
it's weird because, I can read, like, the live chat, but it's not, like, as direct as being able to talk to someone, you know? So even if there was, like, a call-in portion where y'all could pop in for 5 minutes each and just say some shit, that'd be fun. Some of y'all would be reckless, but, you know.
Yeah, we're open to it. No, yeah, I love that. Okay, so I am going to get out of here because I'm hungry.
That's fair.
So love you guys too bad. But before I let you go, I will never leave you without saying that I am in a constant state of practice, and so are you. You can never fail when you're in a constant state of practice.
I watch your videos. Don't play with me. When people have taglines, I be memorizing them. There are plenty of YouTubers where I'm like, I know exactly what you're about to say.
Right, and I live for it. No, yeah, it's my favorite affirmation. Okay, I gotta go. And I'll be in the comments if you're still on.
I'm gonna answer some questions because I feel bad. I haven't spoken talking to anybody.
So y'all, next time I come on, I'll talk to y'all. Mwah. I love y'all too bad, but I gotta get out of here. I'm hungry.
That's fair.
We'll get a girl too. Bye, Kadish. Love you.
Love you. Hi, y'all. I guess I can keep it on Zoom. It doesn't really matter. Do y'all have any other questions, comments, concerns? I'm looking at the questions now. Mindset to orientation. Yes. Yes, Haley. You yelled, Khadijah. Haley. What do you think about Jay-Z saying capitalism is a made-up word? It's giving he didn't read the material. That is the wildest. That's a wild thing to say. Like, sometimes I think he says that just to say, what is it? Like, to make black people feel bad about making money or something. Maybe that's his mindset about it. Yeah. When are you moving to LA and getting on the big screen? When I can find representation that will let me be who I am and talk about whatever I want. Because I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. So if I'm ever working for people that are like, you're not allowed to say that, then I can't work for you. I don't like being told what to do. Girl, Jay-Z just be talking sometimes, honestly. How do you feel about Cat Williams' podcast? Yeah, that episode, I thought it was funny the first little bit that I was watching it, because the main takeaway of you displaying an allegiance to losers is unlike you. What did he fully say? It was so funny. Oh my goodness. Anyway, do y'all have any little questions for me before we fully wrap this up? Oof. Comments, concerns. What's my big three? Oops. Okay. My big three. I'm a Taurus sun, Scorpio moon, Libra rising. Allegedly, I have a similar chart to Beyonce. Allegedly. She's a Virgo, though. My next videos. I'm working on a video about the weaponization of therapy speak, because I'm, as a therapy girly and as someone who really does care about communication and understanding, I'm getting annoyed. I'm getting paved. And then the tattoo question. Repeat that again one more time. And then the last one for this month is going to be a video about debunking alpha males, because I'm actually reading Chimpanzee Politics by, I can't remember his name, but he is the guy that technically coined the phrase alpha male. One of y'all probably has it somewhere in here. Because, yeah, I'm like, girl. One of my friends was telling me about, I made a joke to him that he was an alpha male, and he was like, oh my God. And then basically told me about this debunking thing. And I was like, what? Gypsy Rose Blanchard's and all the support around her. I know it's Frank DeWall. That's who he is. Yes. Thank you. I don't know about all the support. I know that her mom, the story that I know is that her mom was wildin'. Yes. The guy spent his whole life trying to back. What are your Mercury, Mars, and Venus? Damn, girl, you trying to know my whole chart? The eyes. I don't know what the other ones are. I think my Venus is in Taurus as well. I'm apparently very Venusian. That's what I've heard from my astrology girly friends. Yes. When will we see Sex and Capitalism? Oh, y'all are haunting me about that video. That's like Rihanna's album. How do you feel comfortable getting a I'm like trying to still read the comments. Somebody said, how do you feel comfortable about getting a tattoo? Oh, I'm so behind in this chat. I don't read tarot that much, so I don't have any decks. And book recommendations, my last live stream, I talked about some of the books, or you can see it on my Patreon. What do you think about towing of big artists like Beyonce just want to travel in Western rich countries? Yeah, that's the thing. Because the thing about touring is there has to be infrastructure, right? So I don't know if maybe some places they don't go to is because the infrastructure isn't there for the kind of shows they want to do. That's like the first thing that comes into my mind, but I'm sure there are many other factors. It's always driven me bonkers. Like, dude, acting like alphas are seriously about queen. It's late. We're all tired. Being behind is the least of your worries. Just want to say I love you. Remember to meditate, breathe, and stuff with the cat. Thank you. Thanks, Haley. No Issa Rae collaboration. I don't know what we would do, but I'd be down. I'm a creative person. I like to make shit. I just like making shit. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say to y'all. What are your immediate insights, ins and outs of 2024? I don't have any yet. Find a community and friends in place. Interesting question about tattoos and regret. Find handwriting about regret. Okay, so tattoos and regret is one. And then I asked earlier about how you find community and friends in a place where there's not many people like you. You find things that you're interested in, and then you'll find the people as a result of that is the best advice I can give. But I'm also somebody that's like not afraid to put myself out there. So that with that caveat, the thing about tattoos, I don't have any regrets because one, I'm dark skinned. So like you can see my tattoos, but you also can't. Two, I don't really care if other people think that some of the tattoos are weird or unnecessary. I like them. So yeah, that's it. I like my tattoos. Some of them are kind of weird. This one, a friend made a joke that looked like Akon, and I was like, God damn, y'all. But it's an alien, whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't really. Yeah, I like my tattoos. Aw, thanks, Lorelai. Lime. Lorelai, if you're out on the road. Feeling lonely and so cold. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. My laptop is dying and I don't really have anything else to say, so I just need to stop talking. Not Akon, I know, right? Disrespectful. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching all of this, for sticking on for this 2 years. 2 years, 2 hours. My God. Yeah, I gotta go. Watch the Beyonce video if you haven't. Check out Herbie's channel. And yeah. I don't know what else to say. Love y'all. For the little that of y'all appreciating and interacting with my stuff. Love you as a human being that is also living on this earth. Because I don't know you and you don't know me. Remember that. Okay. Bye. Bye. Bye.